All right, take number 4. Hi, it's Justin Prime. This week I'm going to cover a fresh start for myself and doing things positively. I'm also going to be taking my own artist inventory challenge where I hold myself accountable for the week. Plus, I'm going to discuss a tool I'm using, someone I follow, someone who follows me, and we will learn what the Lab 5 weekly challenge is. Welcome to the Jprimecast, episode 10. And as usual, unless I'm in a funk like I was last week, I start off the podcast by talking to someone in particular, the last person in my Instagram feed, and that is Jack H. Grayson. He's been a very, very cool, very loyal, very supportive follower for quite a while, and he's a tremendous artist himself. It's been really neat watching him. Wow, I'm looking at his shit right now. Been really neat watching him grow really over the past couple of years. He's one of a couple of people that would use my old hashtag. What the hell was it? Arting with JP. I should bring that back. Hashtag Arting with JP. So I'm super happy to be talking to you, Jack H. Grayson. Very lots of respect for you and your skill level and your talent, man. Today I want to talk a little bit about a fresh start for myself and really what that means for me, especially doing things positively. I've been thinking a lot about this recently and made kind of a tough, actually, couple of tough choices this week. The first one, if you listen to episode 9 and 9.5, you know that I am done with Sculpture Stories. I'm letting that go, or at least on the shelf for quite a while, probably. But I'm done with Sculpture Stories, and I'm moving on to Astropig Book 1. And that's really where I need to be. And I'm not going to go into why, just because it was a lot. I mean, if you listen to 9.5, you get a very in-depth, very thorough understanding as to why I'm making the switch. But so this is a fresh start for me, and in my mind, I've taken this to the extreme, and I've kind of wanted to restart my Instagram all over, but I'm holding back that impulse. There's no reason to do that exactly. But I like the idea of a really truly fresh start. I can't stand, like I've told you before, that I have a good chunk of followers, but it doesn't mean a damn thing. I don't know who they are. They don't interact with me. It's just ghost followers. It just bothers the heck out of me. But I'm not gonna mess with that. I kind of wanted to, and it actually would have been great for this week. This week, the challenge. I won't ruin it. Maybe I'll talk about it when we hear about the challenge, but I won't ruin it. So, yeah, fresh start. Astropig is it, and I realized the big crux, the big reason why I let go of Sculpture Stories is because it's not mine. It was built upon a borrowed idea, a borrowed character design, and I developed it, a lot, and that's came from me, but it was built upon the foundation was a borrowed idea. And that was a big deal for me. And that was kind of the biggest reason why I let it go. And I'm focusing on Astropig because it is all mine. I don't know where I was going with that, but that was the reasoning behind it. And so I've kind of also been thinking recently how important it is. Oh, that's what it was. So I'm really kind of rebuilding my foundation creatively. The podcast is definitely part of that. But as far as my creator-owned stuff, I'm rebuilding my foundation. And Astropig is it for now. And I've already started brainstorming about other stuff. There's just some fun things in my head, but I'm not going to pursue those right now. But so the foundation is Astropig, and I don't want to be building upon the back of anyone else. Sculpture Stories, well, the original design was from my brother. It was a borrowed idea. It was built upon his idea originally. And it went some great places, but still the foundation was not mine. and I'm glad I realized that now. So the foundation of, for me, everything I do has to be me. And part of this is I want my foundation to be one of positivity, and building each other up. And you probably know I'm a really competitive person, and I want to be the best. If you don't, now you know. And I think that goes hand in hand with doing things positively. You can build each other up and be competitive at the same time. Sorry, adjusting the mic again. So part of what I'm doing is I looked at my content, and I had the JP reads, and the JP reads was funny, in my opinion. And I think the art was cool, and I had the time lapses, so that was all good. But I completely erased those from my YouTube and from the podcast because it was built upon negativity. Really, I was poking fun at these rap artists who sound absurd, and I still think it's ridiculous. But I don't want to build something by poking fun at someone else who honestly is far more successful than I am or probably ever will be. So I deleted those completely. Um, I don't want to build anything for myself upon trying to tear someone else down. That's just stupid. So JP Reads, this is no longer exists. Thank you, Brendan, for helping me out with that. But I can't let it sit there. And one of the reasons was that I was listening to No Jumper, or watching the podcast video, and there was a video with or an interview with XXX Tentacion. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, but that's how he pronounced it. And I was listening to him talk, and I would, the things he was saying were in line with what I assumed he would say, but he also had a really respectable side to him, even though he sounds, he's a young person. He sounds kind of like I don't want to say, but because I don't think too highly of him because he's, a criminal. So, and he's violated the rights of other people. It sounds like, whether they deserved it or not, I don't know. But he had a lot of interesting things to say, and it made me look at him differently. And I left with a little bit of respect for the guy. But what I really realized was that his upbringing was awful, and what the way he is now and the things he says are a product of his upbringing, and he didn't have any control over that. So, like, I just think it's wrong of me to poke fun at him for something he had no control over. Um, so that's why I let that stuff go, and I realized, like, poking fun at someone for something like that. And I mean, in my mind, that's not I wasn't doing JP reads as a way to make fun of someone for their upbringing, but I realized that really that's what I'm doing, because the way he speaks, the ideas he has in his head, not just him, but almost all the ones that I did JP reads for, um, except for Eminem and Atmosphere. I mean, this is just a product of their environment and upbringing, and that's, I can't make fun of that. It's just, they don't ask for that shit. No, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's just that didn't sit right with me anymore to really poke fun at someone who's doing really well for the way they were raised. I was raised well, and I'm not where I want to be. So it just nothing fit there. So from now on, it's gonna be positivity, because that's what I feel, and that's what I want to spread, and that's what I want to build in myself and other people. So JP Reads is dead and no longer in existence. I've deleted it from pretty much everywhere. What I would like to do, I mean, I'd be open to doing JP Reads for people that I admire, just to build up positivity, and to show my respect for people that have affected me positively. Um, yeah, so I'd be open to that. I'm not going to pursue that at all, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. And so, part of that is Astropig is a positive thing. It builds people up. It's for kids, and I want them to gain a new skill from reading it. And I'm definitely thinking about kids that have impulse control, some mental health or anger issues. But it's for any kid that any kid can enjoy it. But it's all about building people up. and just not tearing people down, not building any name for myself off of negativity or bringing people down. That's not where I want to be. So that's my topic commentary. And honestly, it's so easy to go into that negative space. And man, it's just. But I'm really kind of train my brain to stay away from that. That's not the person I want to be. The artist inventory challenge. It's weird. I did 2 episodes last week of this kind of self reflection, and neither of them followed the podcast structure exactly. But I did 2 in depth self reflection episodes last week, and I feel like I didn't do any. It's weird. Last week I also did I think 3 interviews or chats with people. I think I did 2 interviews and 1 artist inventory challenge with someone. Yeah, and yes, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know why, but I feel like I haven't talked about my process for a while, even though I've done plenty of it. I don't know. Whatever. So my major goals: I want to be a mentor, just like I'm doing with Brendan, and that's coming to a close pretty quick. I'd like to start, doing the same thing with somebody else, and I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. If you're interested, let me know. Um, People that are interested in conventions or growth, or I don't know, just the same stuff I've been doing with Brendan. If you feel like you'd be a good fit, I'm open to talking with you about it. What was cool about with Brendan was he and I had a relationship already. We had spent a lot of time together through the convention thing, and it was a natural fit. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how I'd find someone else or whatever, but I don't know. I guess I'm putting that out there. But I like that. I enjoy that. I like recording it and having that content for other people to listen to because I think it's really helpful. I hope it is at least. So mentorship, community building is a major goal of mine. And okay, so those are the 2 major goals. I talked with a couple of people this week, like I mentioned, actually 3 people. And one of them was Blackfly Press. Sorry, my leg is caught on something here. Blackfly Press, and he is very good with setting a high standard for himself and measuring it. I am not. I'm not good at that. I'm good at setting a high standard for myself, but not a goal, not a measurable goal, especially not a big one that is, bigger than what I've experienced in life already. So I think what I want my goal to be, and it's not a financial one, but I think one thing for my goal is that I would like to, I want to get Astropig published by somebody, and probably not a comic book company. I think Astropig at its heart is a kid's book with comic book elements. But I think I'd like to get it published. I think that's been going through my head. I'm not thinking too deeply about it because I just want to create the damn thing first. But yeah, I think I kind of want to get it published. But I don't know. I'll keep thinking about that, and I have to make it. I have to get pages done. That's my priority. Uh, yeah. The other thing is my wife. I was telling her about me doing that book, and she actually likes Astropig. She could give a shit less about everything else I do, but Astropig she kind of enjoys. And she said she wants to be able to hold an Astropig plushie, and she said she's imagining what do you call them? They're like the suma, something like that. There's like these Marvel like figures, and you could probably find other figures, but they're like these pill shaped things with like 4 legs, and it'll be like Miss Marvel or Spider Man in this pill shaped thing. They're called like suma or something like that. And she says I want to hold one of those with Astropig, and I want to throw it at you or the kids because that's what we do. We throw shit at each other. My family we throw socks at each other or stuffed animals or pillows. And so that was an image she had in her head, and I when I heard that I'm like, yeah, I want to make that happen for you. So I'm thinking bigger, not too deeply, but that was a really nice vision. It's not a financial goal I have for myself, but it's a realist. I mean, I think it could be a realistic goal. I think it could happen. Could. But it's a measurable goal. It's a tangible goal. It's something that could happen. I don't know how to make it happen, but but I'm not there yet. Right now I'm just creating it, so whatever. And then those are my major goals as of right now. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. All right, so my projects, I'll mention School of Stories issue 3, and this will probably be the last time I mention it. Well, probably not the last time, but it'll be the last time I mention it as a project. And you know where I'm at with that. Astropig is my main project, and then community building is also my main project. So really, it's Astropig and community building. So let's talk about the obstacles for School of Stories issue 3. There weren't any obstacles, and you already know why. And I'll talk about that under successes, though. The obstacles for Astropig. There is one, actually a couple. I'm like I'm very. It's new. Like I just jumped into it, but what I've discovered is that the sizing that I have it sized. I don't want a comic book size. Sorry, I just got a text message. I was reading it. My wife kicked me out of the room because I was typing and checking my phone, and my watch was going off with messages, and she kicked me out of the room. And she said, "I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings." uh, so yeah, where was I? Okay, so it's not sized as a standard comic book size because to me, it's not exactly a standard comic book at all, and I don't want to be following a standard size. This to me, this is like being in art class in college. It's like I don't want to do what you want. I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my way. So I have a very clear. Actually, this is another goal. I have a very clear goal in my head for what I want with Astropig, and I want for kids. I'm not going to be well. So I'll just talk about my kids. Probably my son but maybe Bella too. I don't know how long it's going to take to finish it. So hopefully she'll be young enough to where she can do this. But I want to see my kids reading the book, like laying on their belly with their legs up in the air and their head resting on their, hands, which is on the, resting on their elbows on the floor. That it's that classic kind of kid reading a book kind of pose. And I see them do that every now and then, especially Jay, the younger one. And it's just like something really cool about it, just really innocent about it. I want to see them do that with my book. And that's a goal. That's a vision I have in my head, and I want to make that a reality. So to do that, I don't. Well, and then, honestly, beyond that, I don't want to just have them do that with like a normal comic book size book. I want it to be a big book, and I want it to be more widescreen. I think more in widescreen and the comic format. I always felt very restrained, which is a good thing, and force you to be creative. But really, I always wanted to go wider and bigger. So with this, like I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna respect that, and I'm gonna do it. So the size that I chose is 8.5 by 11, um, and that's just the cover size. So when you open it, it's gonna be 8.5 by 22 inches. So it's gonna be a pretty good sized book. It's not too big for a kid's book. I have kids books here that are that size or bigger, but it's a big size to where when my kids are looking at it, I want them to get lost in the pages. When your kids are looking at it, I want them to get lost in the pages. I want them to be laying on the ground or on their bed, on their belly or whatever, and they're just absorbed in what I've drawn and the story that I'm telling. Um, and I don't want, like with a comic, we force people's eyes to look a certain way. I want your kids' whole head to move. I want them to go from the left to the right. I want them to be, you know what I mean? I want to really get them immersed in the story that I'm telling. So that's another goal. That's a very clear goal I have for the book, not a financial one whatsoever. But I want, when this is published, I want people to write to me saying like my kids they're doing it, like that image came true, and they're immersed in it, and you know what I mean. Like that's what I want. So that's another major goal. Don't judge me on it. That's all I want. I just want them to do that. I want you to do that. I want you to open it up and just be overwhelmed by how fucking grand this kid's book is. I like that line. Uh, Somebody quote that and put that on their Instagram, right? No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna beg for quotes, but that's a good one though. All right. Let's see. What the fuck was that? Community building. Okay, obstacles. Scratch that. Obstacles. Scolder Stories none. Astropig. All right. So with the size that I'm working on, The size in Clip Studio Paint is pretty damn big, and I'm working at 600 DPI, and it's a big image. And then a lot of what I'm doing is double page spread, so I'm using that full 22 inches. That's what she said. I'm using the full 22 inches. That was a good use of that's what she said. That was a good one. I'm proud of that one. I'm fucking on fire here, man. Anyhow, so it's a big file size at 22 inches across and 600 DPI. Um, so I have found that the Surface Pro is struggling. It keeps like I can color it fine and I can draw it fine. It keeps up with that, but when it comes to saving, it takes like 30 seconds to a minute to like save the damn thing. I have to keep closing the program and then starting it back up again because the touch sensor, like using my fingers to make it wider, it I don't know, that craps out. So um, that's been an obstacle. I did some things today to speed up my computer, like shutting down other tasks. I basically disabled Cortana. I shut down like 3D effects and all those visual effects that go along with Windows or whatever. So I did a bunch of stuff to kind of speed it up, and it helped it a little bit. What really helps is to when I'm working on double page spread is to work on each page separately rather than together. That seems to help out. But yeah, that's been definitely an obstacle. But I don't want to sacrifice the size. I want to make sure that when it's printed, it's the way I want it to look, or as close to as possible. So that's one obstacle with AstroPig. The other one is coloring style, and this isn't a huge deal right now. Really, I should be focusing on just sketching it out. I have it. I have the whole thing laid out already. So all the layouts, the panels are set. Well, not set, but it's the first draft. But what I should be doing is it's just the pencil work. But I've already started playing around with different coloring styles. I like the idea of doing. I want it to look like it's on actual. Well, it is on actual paper, but I want it to look like it's like a textured kind of paper. And I was leaning toward brown. I think color on the brown texture paper looks really really cool, like the tone tan Strathmore kind of stuff, or even like a vintage kind of paper. Um, but I realized, I like that. I don't know if kids are gonna like that. So I've been kind of playing around with that. I've been playing around with doing more of a construction paper kind of feel to it. Like right now, the current version of it is a purplish kind of paper with my colored pencil over it, and it's all done digitally. Um, and it looks really cool, but I don't know if kids are gonna like it, and I don't know what the line is there. I want to just say F it and do whatever I want, and that's probably what I will do. And like if you look at kids books, the visual range in kids books is huge. Like they don't none of them match. There's you know what I mean, especially the ones that are I don't know the best. They take some chances, so I don't know. I kind of want to just make it my own, market with my style and not appease. Um, but there is a part of me that's thinking about the future and maybe making it more marketable. But I don't. I think I need to kind of tone it down and just do me. You know what I mean? So I'm probably going to lean that direction towards some sort of paperish kind of feel with like a sketchy style over it. I thought I was going to do black, white, and orange with like a sketchy kind of crosshatch feel to it. But that I don't think it's going to be exciting enough. Even when I was looking at it, I wasn't too into it. And then I did the colored paper with the brown, and even then it looked really cool. But there's just so much going on each page. It is kind of a disservice to not highlight those things with different colors. And I mean, creatures are going to be a huge aspect of this. So not coloring those creatures in some way is just like what it's like I'm holding back too much. The first page spread is a shot of space and planets, and I just kind of went all out and went crazy with it. And to not color those and show more of what I'm creating, it's like, well, why am I even? It's like I feel like I kind of have to show more color and really go at it. but I don't want to do, flats and then highlights and values and make it look like a comic book. I don't want that. I don't want to do that like cartoony kind of, one layer kind of look. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, I don't think I want to give it that painterly kind of sketchy feel that I've been doing. I like the penciled sketchy kind of look. Um, so that's just kind of where I'm at. It is an obstacle, but right now it's not going to stop me from moving forward. I need to be doing the pencil work. So the last project for now is community building. Um, the obstacles here was this is the first week I did not complete the Lab 5 weekly challenge. I'm sorry, Luke. I'm sorry, man. I meant to. I accepted it during the podcast. I should have followed through, but I didn't. And I think the reason for that, the challenge was to share a past panel and to get some feedback on it. And I thought about doing it a couple times, and each time I thought about it, I just didn't want to. And I think it was I'm moving on, and I'm leaving the Scolders behind, and really kind of in an extreme way. Like I've replaced all of my avatars with a brand new logo that I completed. Um, in collaboration with Sean Miller, who I did an interview with. That'll be coming out in a couple weeks. Um, I didn't want to look back. I didn't want to stop and look at sculpture panels. I'm moving forward. So, just like you break up with a girl, you don't look back at pictures. You move forward, right? So I don't know. That's kind of what I was feeling. I just wanted to move forward. So I did not complete that, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like I should have. This is a community I'm trying to build. I definitely should be doing each week the challenge. So hopefully everyone in the Discord community, if you're listening to this, you'll forgive me on that one. And hopefully you'll understand as well. The successes, the wins for Scolder Stories, the win is I'm done with it, and I realize that I should not be doing that, and that I should be moving on with something that is fundamentally from the ground up, 100% my own thing. So that to me, that's a huge success. These past 3 years, I think, at least 2 years of working on it in no way are a waste of time. This has been a tremendous, incredible growth experience for me. And everything that I learned will translate directly to Astropig. So, I mean, it's like I'm not even skipping a beat. I mean, literally the things that I was working on for issue 3, like the landscapes and creature designs, that's going to go directly into issue book 1 for Astropig. Sorry. So in no way was it a waste of time. Tremendous experience. Super happy with what I created overall. And I'm glad that I'm going to build upon those skills and really push it even further, probably with Astropig. So that's a big success for me. Scolder Stories is done, and that'll probably be the last update that I give it as far as the project goes. I'm dropping that one, and it's being replaced full on with Astropig. So the successes for Astropig, I'm really happy about it. I'm very, very excited. I'm really into it. It's a whole new great challenge. It's fun. It's cute. It's got some value to it for kids and families. I think right now, it's looking cool so far. I'm only a page into the real pencils, or actually 2 pages, but I think it's looking really cool so far. I'm really happy with it. And one thing that, if you listen to issue or episode 9.5, one of the things I was excited about was it fits my lifestyle more as a parent, because I don't have to do it in secret. Scolders was a R-rated thing that I didn't want my kids exposed to. My wife didn't give a shit about it, but Astropig, she's kind of into it, or she is into it, and my kids are gonna be into it. My daughter is into it. She read this. I let her read the script today, and she gave it the approval. She was apparently really inspired and started designing a creature for me to use in the book, and I'll definitely put that creature in there. And she and I worked on, is that creature part of a pack, and what does it look like? What does it eat? What does it drink? So I'll be able to enter all that stuff into a future Astropedia. The Scolderpedia will become the Astropedia. So yeah, it's just that, to me, that alone, to know that I inspired my daughter to use her creativity and step away from the tablet, that was a huge success. And that she's going to be a part of it in some small way, actually, I think hopefully a big way, and that she'll be able to tell her friends, when this shit becomes a movie someday, that I designed one of the creatures in book 1. That's pretty awesome. or more, not one or more creatures. So, and that, and then a kid read the script and gave me the okay. That was cool. She looked at my first 2-page spread and didn't understand the panel sequence. And that at first I was like, kind of like, F you, I know better than you. But by the end of the day, I think she's right. I think that my panel layout was confusing. So I think I'm going to change it. And actually, I've already started changing it, and I'll probably either move it or get rid of it completely. So to me, man, big successes with AstroPig, and just so much room to grow without a feeling of guilt or like I'm owing somebody. So it's been very, very liberating, very inspiring for me. And the last project success, community building. The success here is that the Discord community kicks ass. I'm so happy with the people that are active in there. We're still less than 20 people, and I can give a shit less. I think it's great because it's I think it was a handful of people, and he did drop from the community, unfortunately, because they're not active enough. But the people that are active, I think it's like 14 or 15 of us that are pretty damn active. It's going really well. I mean, just so much. To me, I'm valuing it a lot. I'm getting a lot out of it, and I think others are. That's the feedback that I've gotten. And it's really at this point self-sustaining. I think for the first week I felt like I had to kind of push it forward and ask questions and stuff, but at this point it's like everyone's just doing their thing and it's cool and I'm just part of it. And that's what that's really neat. So that to me that's a big one. Number 2 for community building, the podcast here, it did almost 40% better than last month. So some nice chunk of growth there. This was the second full month, I think, of doing the podcast. Well, according to the Anchor stats, this is my second full month, and this is the last day of the month. So I was significantly, there's a good chunk of growth between this month and last month. I'm really happy with that. At this point, I have 2 weeks worth of content ready to go. I'll probably still keep recording and busting them out, but if I wanted to, I could take a couple of weeks off, quote unquote. I won't. Actually, I have something scheduled for next week I'm really excited about. On Wednesday, I'll be talking with the CEO of Comic Central. Her name is Lee Jeffrey. I'm super excited about it. That's going to be some direct value to everyone listening. I mean, I can't wait. So if you have questions that you want me to ask Lee, email me or let me know in Discord or DM me. Like, this is your chance because this is happening in a few days. I'm really excited to, like, for real, like, to talk to her and find out more, get some clarifications. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. And there's a possibility of talking with somebody else from Comic Central that hasn't happened yet, but I think it will. So, man, it's just the podcast is growing. As far as listenership is going, it's growing. The amount of content that I'm producing. Right now, I have a good sustainable thing going where I'm not doing that shotgun approach like I was initially. And I wouldn't say I have a pace because I'm doing as much as I possibly can, but I'm releasing stuff at a pace, and it's not just haphazard. It's interviews, it's artist inventory challenges is my weekly thing. And then Luke and I have a new segment which is Comic Dads Unleashed, and that'll be a regular thing. So I feel like the podcast is leveling out as far as my comfort level with it and my production of new content. So that's a big, big, big success for me. It's working as far as attracting new listeners. The Discord community is going very well. If you want to join it, you're in. Just let me know. But yeah, it's just, for me, the community building aspect of it, it's going well. I'm really happy with it. So the goals for the week for me, doing all this is wonderful, but I have to set new goals. The goal for me is to continue to pencil AstroPig book 1. I'll work on coloring here and there because I won't be able to ignore it. I'm gonna keep wanting to try stuff out, but I need penciling is the priority. It is the number one priority. And from talking to people this week, it helps me to realize I just need to get some damn pages done. You know what I mean? The podcast is amazing. I love it. But I can't just do the podcast. I have to be producing shit. So that's that. I mean, that's damn. Is that my only goal for the week? That's all I have down. Yeah, that's really, that's what it really comes down to. Is I have to be producing pages. Um, that's period. That's it. Period. I don't think there's any tools I'm using that really stick out to me that I needed to talk to you guys about. If I think of something, I'll let you know. But let's move on to who I follow and who's following me. Who I follow, I'm going to mention this person again, Blackfly Press. He's made an impact on me recently. He's he did a chit chat little interview with me this week. It's posting, I think, next week, and it's really about how we're different with goal setting. How he has a very clear goal, even a financial one, um, and he wants to do this full time, and I'm not. That's not where I'm at. But at the same time, my social media presence has been pretty strong, and his not so much. So we kind of talked about that disparity between us, but also that there might be a happy balance there. Um, so it was a great talk. Really got me thinking and taking my goal setting more seriously. And I came up with something, not a financial thing, like I said, or shared earlier, but I came, something. At least I have now like a vision in my head that I can work towards, and that helps me out. Actually, a lot. I think it helps me out a lot because before it was with Scolders, especially, it was just like I don't know where this is going. But now, at least I have a vision. I have a picture in my head of what I want. So yeah, he's that made a big impact on me talking with him and a couple other people, but that's definitely a strength of his. He's also something that I had a goal of setting a goal after our talk, and his goal was to step up his social media game. This weekend, he has run a fucking clinic on social media. Yeah, I've been really impressed because he went from not a whole lot to it looks like building the culture of his brand with music, and he had a really cool Henry Rollins quote in there, and it felt everything that he posted was like, yeah, that's the brand. That's Blackfly Press. That's what they stand for. It was really cool, and I think he even had he showed himself erasing or something like that, and like it was his cat's tail was like swishing away the eraser marks, and it just fits. Like, yeah, that's right, that's it. So I'm really excited. That's very inspiring for me to continue to keep my social media game up. I feel like I have a lot of room to grow there. Overall I do okay, I think, but I know I can step it up there. So thank you, Blackfly, for the inspiration and setting the tone. And I know, especially for him, the indie community is a big deal for him, a very very big deal. Not just comic books, but also music, as I learned. But that's just I respect the hell out of him for that. And as for who follows me, Andrew Rodriguez Art is Andrew underscore Rodriguez underscore art. Thank you so much for your support, man. You've been in my comments pretty darn frequently, a little bit of DMs, and it's just tons of support, positivity, and it seems like you're excited about the podcast and Astropig. And I can't ask for any more, man. So thank you so much for everything, man. I love that. Appreciate it. How did my weekly challenge go last week? I'm sorry, everybody, and especially you, Luke. I didn't do it as I explained earlier. Why? Because I suck. That's why. But let's hear Luke's new Lab 5 weekly challenge.
Hey Jprimecasters, Luke here with another weekly challenge. So yesterday I spent a bit of time scrolling through the Indie Comics hashtag, working on my social media, checking out people's projects and their work, and throwing out some follows to see if I could pick up any cool new projects out there and get a bit of engagement back myself. So about an hour of that got me about 9 follows of hopefully people that will see some value in my work and hang around. And that's what this weekly challenge is going to be about. Pick a hashtag that's relevant to your creative process, whether it's indie comics, creator owned, anything like that. Have a look through for a little while and see if you can get some people on board having a look at your stuff. And that's about it. Thanks a lot.
This is absolutely a challenge that I can do. I do accept the challenge. Challenge accepted. This is a really good one. It's honestly for me it's quite humbling to not just rely on the skill that you do have, but to also become a part of the community, reach out, and leave comments for people and just give love and positivity. And honestly, it's like you have to hope. The hope is that they check out your work without, I don't want to ask them to because that's just dickish. But it's just like I hate those comments where it's like, hey, check out my latest blah blah blah. But no, it's just I'm just giving you positivity to give you positivity, and I hope I don't tell them this, but I hope that they come check out my stuff as well, and that we can build kind of a relationship. So it doesn't always go that smoothly. Most of the time, people aren't going to check out your stuff. They'll take your hearts, and that'll be it. But you can get some really good followers that way, I think. So it's a great challenge. Um, there was a strategy from Gary Vee, which is to look up pick like I think it was like the nine, was it the 10 hashtags that you're in your field. So it would be like hashtag creator owned, hashtag indie comics, hashtag make comics. I think maybe it was 20. Fuck, I don't know. But you find those and then go to the top 9 posts of each hashtag and leave insightful comments and questions. Um, just to become a part of the community. It's a great exercise. I did it a little bit. It's not something I kept up with, and I probably won't, honestly. I should, but that's a great way, according to him, and just based on the little experience I've done, it's a really good way to become part of the community that you want to be part of. Because you can't just wait for followers; you have to like become part of it. So that's something I'm learning and a skill that I'm practicing. So I'm glad that Luke picked that. It's a really really good challenge. So I would recommend every day set aside like seriously like at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You should do more, but for me, I could probably do 20 minutes a day. I could shoot for that. Before I sign out, I will also, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I will. I'm already kind of flirting with the idea of a whole nother project. I like the idea of doing like a 10-page mini story. I love that idea. That's again, I'm bringing up Black Fly Press again. And he's a lot he can contribute, and I'm really benefited from knowing him. Um, but his arsenal is built upon 10-page stories or whatever, mini stories, and I like that idea a lot. So I've already started to kind of develop a character and a very simple plot that would just be kind of fun to do. It's just the best stuff about drawing that I want to tackle. It's not something I'm going to do. It's not a priority whatsoever, but it is something I'm just kind of flirting with. And I don't know, I might poke at it here and there. Astro Pig is the priority, I promise. But I don't know. I'm a creative person. You can't keep me down. So if you're still listening, you belong in the Jprimecast community. There are people that are contacting me that listen to the podcast, and when I look at your gallery on Instagram, you're a creator. Like you're a creator. You're creating stuff. You might even have a creator-owned book or story or character. You belong in the community. Why aren't you in the community? It's by invite only. So just let me know you want in, and you're in. If you listen, you're in. That's it. Um, but I can't know. I can't send you an invite unless I know you want in. So let me know. It's a community, like you know this by now, right? If you've listened, you know this by now. It's a community. It's support for people that are beginners, people that are figuring things out, amateurs, creators. It's just people that are figuring it out, just like me. I feel like I'm figuring this stuff out, and I'm trying to assemble a team of not team, but a group of people that are in the same boat, and I feel like that's what's happening. In the community, in the Discord community, you'll get practical advice and feedback. The feedback has been really, I think, really helpful. And it's not just feedback from anyone like your mom or your friends. It's from other independent creators that are currently working on their own thing or working in that direction. Lots of inspiration. There's some motivation there. Collaborate with other people. It doesn't cost anything. It's just growth and good times. But I can't force you to become a part of the community. We're doing okay without you. But I'd like to have you there. But whatever. Hey, thank you for listening to episode 10 of the weekly Jprimecast. Bye.
I would have waited an eternity for this. It's over, Prime.